Welcome back. Now, during Mashujaa Day, Kenya celebrates and honors its gallant sons and daughters who have made a mark in various fields, with the main one being those who contributed towards Kenya's independence. But there are unsung heroes too, whose contributions have faded into the background. Today, we look at the story of Jaswant Singh Baraj, a man who, though originally from India, chose to fight for Kenya by supplying freedom fighters with arms during the struggle for independence.
Many men and women took part in the fight for freedom and independence in Kenya. Most of them are known to us since their stories have never been told. One of their sons and daughters whose stories have never been told is the late Jaswant Singh Baraj. Originally from India, he took part in the struggle for Kenya's independence. We sought to find out from his daughter Ranjit Vadi, who lives in Nairobi's South B area. As Kenyans celebrated Mashujaa Day, 59-year-old Ranjit told us the story of her father.
My father, according to me, he was my hero. And he was born in India in 1935, and he came to Kenya in 1941, but his father had come before that in 1914. He was working with the Kenya Railways, but my grandmother and the other siblings joined them later.
Born in India, Jaswant Singh Baraj and his family moved to Kenya in 1914 when his father Charan Singh migrated to the British colony. Jaswant grew up in Kenya. According to Ranjit, her father's activism was triggered by the infamous Jallianwala massacre in Amritsar, India in 1919, which happened after security forces shot and killed a crowd of protesters that had gathered at the Jallianwala in Amritsar, Punjab, to protest against the Rowlatt Act and the arrest of pro-independence activists.
It was in India. It was in Jallianwala Bagh. Yeah. So when he saw how they were, everyone was shot there, and the way the women and the children jumped into the well, how everyone was shot, no one was spared, and everything, that really triggered it, you see. And then when he came over here, and again he saw the Mau fight going on, that is what made him join this freedom fight.
In 1953, Jaswant's life took a remarkable turn. Kenya's fight for independence was in full swing, and the British colonial rulers were forcing the youth to join the police force to suppress the Mau Mau. Jaswant, too, was compelled to join the Kenya Police Reserve Squad.
When he came back, that time the freedom fight was on in full swing. Yeah. And he was forced to join the Kenya Police Reserve at that time. All the youngsters were forced to join. So even he was forced to join. So he joined the Kenya Police at that time.
During his training, he and his fellow recruits were subjected to harsh and demeaning treatment, which left a scar on his mind and ignited his desire to fight for independence in Kenya. This he did by supplying weapons to the Mau Mau.
When he joined this police reserve and everything, and he was tortured over there, during his training even he was hit on his crown, on the head on his crown with the part of a gun. And he was really against how people were treated, even in India, even here. And he decided to join the Mau Mau. And he really did a very good job, you see, by supplying them materials, helping them how to make guns, teaching them he also taught few how to make guns, gunpowder. And he was also supplying some pipings and things to the Mau Mau freedom fighters.
This is collaborated in former Nyeri Town Member of Parliament Wanyiri Kihoro's book, The Prize for Freedom, in which he writes, and I quote, Jaswant Singh Baraj was arrested in May 1954, tried and sentenced to hang. He had been charged with manufacturing and supplying arms and ammunition to the Mau Mau. On appeal, his sentence was reduced to life imprisonment. He served 4.5 years at Takwa Detention Camp near Mombasa with other political detainees including Achieng Oneko, John B. Koinange and Mwinga C. Chokwe. While Ranjit's father was getting involved in the fight for independence, his relationship with his father got strained as his father did not support him.
He didn't have a very good relationship with his real father because his father, when my grandmother was struggling with him to release him and all the money had gone, he divorced my grandmother.
The incarceration of Jaswant shattered his mother, who later on embarked on a mission to save her son's life by securing the necessary 5,000 signatures required for an appeal.
There were about 31 people, including my dad, to be hanged. He was supposed to be hanged. 30 people were hanged. He was the last one. And he said even they had put the black cloth on his face. They had tied, he was ready to be hanged. But at the last minute, the orders were cancelled for him and he was ordered to be given life imprisonment instead because my grandmother was forced to take signatures from 5,000 people during that time. And she managed to do that. I think as I'm the only one left from his family now, and I don't want this story just to be gone. No one knows about it. So I wanted the world at least to know about him, at least to remember him as an forgotten hero, because he did something for this country.
Just like other Kenyans whose stories have not been told, Ranjit is hopeful that their contributions will one day be recognized. Miriam Angel, KTN News.
He was in...
And in sports,
we were so great.